That was my civilian clothes before we left, standing out in front of my hoots.
No uniform. That's how East Tennessee native Jim Morrow recalls his military bosses instructed him to arrive home after serving in the Vietnam War.
We were told by our unit to, if you don't have civilian clothes with you, ride home and get some sent over, because you will need to get out of your uniform as soon as you get back to the States.
So as soon as you got off the plane in your military uniform, you changed clothes?
Yes.
And you go, and then what happens?
Well, one of my biggest memories of that experience is we landed in San Francisco. I remember seeing uniforms thrown in the floor, hanging over the bathroom stalls, in trash cans, all Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, all.
People just getting rid of them, trashing them.
Getting rid of them and putting their civilian clothes on and trying to blend back in with the free world.
Drafted out of high school, Morrow served in a combat security police squad patrolling U.S. air bases in Vietnam in 1968 and 1969. I was
just young and was doing what my country asked of me. We knew there was a little bit of war protesting going on in the States, but we didn't have any idea the extent of it until we came back.
He attended the University of Tennessee on the GI Bill, but kept his military service quiet.
I remember sitting in classes and listening to professors kind of put down the war in Vietnam, the soldiers, and even the country.
3 decades after Vietnam, Jim Morrow was again overseas serving his country, this time in Iraq.
Even though I wasn't really keen on the idea of going, it was kind of a little bit of closure, because, I got that send-off and homecoming that I never got.
Morrow was 56 years old when he returned to war in 2004. He was married with 3 children and 3 grandchildren. And this was his homecoming. A parade that rolled through downtown Knoxville paid tribute to the service of hundreds of Tennessee soldiers. It was a sea of smiles, thank yous, and uniforms.
It was emotional, and most of us were a little teary-eyed.
And for this combat veteran, the stark differences in his 2 homecomings, decades apart, offer a clear lesson.
The soldiers need to be treated with dignity and respect, regardless of what you think about the war.